All right, guys, welcome back. We have lots to go over. Today is the biggest week in gaming. So much is going to be happening in terms of game releases and the future of games that are going to be coming out at the end of this year, going into next year and beyond. It's going to be a very, very fun time. So we have lots of updates on stuff that potentially is going to be shown off, stuff that has been teased and leaked. We have some updates here for the Outer Worlds 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 also comes out tomorrow. And you may be wondering, where are the reviews? Looks like we're not getting any reviews until after the release, which is very interesting. So there is a story on that. We also got NVIDIA talking about the chip on the Switch 2. They think it's pretty advanced, so we'll go over that. And then there's a bunch of other things to talk about as well, again, as we are in a massive week for gaming. But before we do continue, if you do enjoy daily gaming news, staying updated on everything happening within the gaming industry, make sure to hit the subscribe, share the video, like it. Really does help out the channel just by doing a couple of those things. So I do appreciate that. But for now, let's jump in to the news. All right, we'll start off here with the Outer Worlds 2. There were some weird rumors and stuff going around that they were potentially going to delay this game. That does not look like it's happening whatsoever. I mean, they're doing an entire dedicated showcase to it after the main Xbox showcase on Sunday to show off more about the Outer Worlds 2. We've already seen some gameplay and everything for it. The game looks phenomenal. I think this is going to be an awesome game, especially basing it off of the first one, which I did enjoy. We have a bit more information here. Pre-orders are actually potentially opening up on Sunday, which makes me believe that they're going to do that showcase and then just right away open up those pre-orders. We have this here. The Outer Worlds 2 pre-orders open Sunday. It is claimed. This is via Bill Kuhn, who is very, very reliable, gets a lot of this stuff correct. So for that reason alone, I would suggest that, yeah, this is probably true and it is going to be happening. But according to Bill Kuhn, the Outer Worlds 2 will see pre-orders open immediately following the game's standalone direct on Sunday, June 9th. In addition to pre-orders, the game's release date will also be announced during the showcase. And lastly, the report gives information on the pre-order bonuses for the game. Players who pre-order the Outer Worlds 2 will get the Commander Zane Battle Pack, and the pack includes Zane's uniform, armor, an Ed Company drone, and Zane's pistol and dagger. And they say here, Zane, as Bill Kuhn points out, appears to be a new character that will be revealed during the showcase. And this is coming out on the Xbox Series, the PlayStation 5, and on PC, and obviously available day one on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So I am very excited for this. If they're taking pre-orders right after the show, this means this is coming out relatively soon in the next few months, where it potentially is going to be one of those big games that hits the holiday season. So very excited here for the Outer Worlds 2. I can't wait to see more about this after the main June 8th Xbox showcase, which will probably have a ton of other things that we're going to be talking about and to be excited about. Now, if you want to jump in to some games very, very soon this week that you're going to have to potentially not be able to jump into games that are shown off at the showcase. Well, there's actually two big free-to-play games that are dropping on consoles, onto Xbox this week. Two very highly anticipated ones, and I think both of these could be pretty popular and end up being pretty big. The first one here that will be dropping is Splitgate 2, which is on June 6th, so just a few days away. And then Zenless Zone Zero, also dropping here on June 6th. This is one that's been shown off from Hoyoverse, I think in a few Xbox showcases. I'm not sure which ones. I forget if it was at the big showcase or if it was at smaller ones that they've done, but it's a Japanese anime style of game. Kind of reminds me here of Genshin Impact and stuff. I don't know if it's in the exact same universe as that or anything, but it looks similar in graphic style and everything. And I think this one is going to be pretty fun to play. It's an action game. You're going through here. You can see here, there's different things you're going to be doing, but I feel like this one's actually going to be relatively fun to do. You're just running around, going through different quests and stuff in a world that has interesting graphics, obviously interesting characters as you can see them here, but the combat itself looks like it is fun. That is the main thing for me here. The combat does look like it would be a good time, and it's free to play, so you could just jump in and play it. Then, of course, Splitgate 2, which is one I feel like I had a pretty good audience with the first game, and now the second one is coming out here, and I think this one also will be big. So some big free-to-play games. If you want to just jump into something new sooner rather than later. You're going to be able to do that this upcoming week here in just a couple of days. Okay, yesterday we got the Unreal Showcase. And at the Unreal Showcase, The Witcher 4 was shown off. And it looked absolutely insane. It looked like phenomenal. The NPC interactions, the graphics, and it looked like it is going to be a very, very good game. One of the things that was interesting, though, after they did show off The Witcher 4 with this tech demo, was they said it was running on a base PlayStation 5. It was running at 60 frames per second with ray tracing. And people took that and they really thought this was insane. Like, they thought this was something that they were going to actually end up seeing when the game does launch on a base PlayStation 5. I was instantly skeptical. We've seen this song and dance previously from CDPR. They make phenomenal games, but we've seen the whole marketing side of things where they show off the game before it does come out and it looks significantly better than when it actually releases. We just had the whole Cyberpunk 2077 thing when that did launch, the whole controversy around that. So when they first showed us off, I was kind of a little skeptical at first. I held back a little bit of excitement because I think it looks phenomenal, but this is going to be something we're seeing running like that on very high-end PCs and potentially going into the next generation. I doubt we're going to be getting this on a base PS5 with 60 FPS and ray tracing it, or on the base Xbox Series X. But the Unreal Showcase where they showed off The Witcher 4, very cool. I would highly recommend going to check it out. And then this is what they did show off. They showed that the State of Unreal presentation that opened with the CD Projekt Red developers taking the stage, showing a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4. And that was where the big confusion was. There's actually a whole update here. And CD Projekt Red has actually confirmed to VGC that what was shown wasn't Witcher 4 gameplay, but a tech demo set in the Witcher 4 world. So right away, you know this is not how the game is going to look when it does drop on a base PS5. They say this is a tech demo and a first look at the cutting edge technology powering The Witcher 4, but not The Witcher 4 itself. It also says it showcases the powerful foundation we're building in close collaboration with Epic Games to push open world design further than ever before. And the core systems and features we're developing using Unreal Engine 5. They say we're really proud of this early milestone and excited to give you a sneak peek at some of the cool tech like UAF, nanite foliage, smart objects, ML deformer, and fast geo streaming that are helping shape the future of The Witcher. But I would say absolutely, I mean, here it is. Go check this out. It looks insane. Like, the fact that they can use these technologies and make it look this good in UE5 has me very excited for how this game will officially end up being when it does release, especially going into like the next generation and on higher end PCs. I think this thing is going to be absolutely insane. The other amazing thing from this trailer that I hope translates into the actual game, because again, this is just a tech demo, is NPC interactions. You can see them interacting here, and it's really like nothing we've seen in previous games. So game looks phenomenal. The Witcher 4 is going to be a very, very good game. CDPR make great video games, but we've seen the song and dance previously with tech demos and showing off games and making people believe that this is how it's going to actually look when it does come out. I would bet that when this game does drop, if it does release on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, it will be significantly downgraded in graphical fidelity comparatively to its release on a higher end platform. And when it comes to graphics, the Nintendo Switch 2 is out tomorrow. And obviously this console is not going to be nearly as powerful as the base PS5 or the Xbox Series X. But the reality is it is a handheld console that you plug into your TV. And a lot of people are going to be using this mainly in handheld mode. NVIDIA came out here and they claimed that the Switch 2 is redefining portable gaming graphics, giving it the most advanced card here, most advanced graphics in a mobile device. Jensen Huang put out a video talking about the Switch, the legacy of it, and then going over to the Switch 2 and just all of the time and effort put into creating the chip here on the Nintendo Switch 2. According to Huang, the NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip for the Switch took over 500 engineer years to develop, and the company had to reinvent everything here for the Switch 2, and this is what they have achieved. It will be very interesting to see this in real time with the Nintendo Switch 2, how it works in games and if it makes a huge jump from the Switch 1 to the 2. I think there will be a nice jump from between those two platforms, but how well will like ray tracing and stuff look on the Nintendo Switch 2? But the Switch 2 will have full hardware ray tracing, dedicated AI processors, and ultra low power through optimized semiconductor process technology for high performance. This is what they are saying. Obviously, these are a lot of those big buzzwords that are used before the launch of any console. We saw it with PS5, we saw it with the Xbox. They're going to do the same thing here with the Nintendo Switch 2, but I do find it very interesting that it has full hardware ray tracing. I also will be interested in just how well like the DLSS stuff is going to work to get these games to run at higher frames per second. We are seeing some pretty good performance for the Switch 2 on games that are launching with it. So that's something we will continue to track here. And I'm sure there will be tons and tons of people doing their analysis on just how good is this console? Is it worth what they're selling it for? A lot of people don't believe it is, but we will obviously see more of that when it does officially launch. But we're not going to see any reviews about the Nintendo Switch 2 until after the launch. And that's always concerning when it comes to video games, when it comes to hardware. We have confirmation here that there will be no Nintendo Switch 2 reviews. And VGC actually reached out, got this news from Nintendo. They seemed pretty disappointing. They say, according to a company spokesperson, Nintendo decided not to send Switch 2 review units to press ahead of launch because important features and updates that will only be available via a system update on the day of the console's official release on June 5th. So don't expect anything tomorrow. Don't expect anything on June 5th in terms of like a score or people telling you if this thing is good. Yes, they had their preview events, but I wonder what those features are and how big of a difference it's actually going to make. We've already seen stories coming out where people who got the Switch 2 early couldn't use it. It was basically bricked until June 5th because they needed these updates for it to function. So that's what's going on here. There is controversy surrounding that. People are thinking basically you don't even own the console that you do buy. But going forward, I believe after June 5th, you'll always have that update out of the box when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. But we'll see. I'm getting a Switch 2. I'm going to test it out, see what I like about it, see what I don't like about it, and just play some of the games. Because that's the thing. The games are fun at the end of the day, even if they don't have the best graphics and stuff. Like, that's not what the Nintendo Switch is going for. All right, if you've never played Tales of Kinzera's it's a very good side-scrolling Metroidvania game from Surgeon Studios. They had announced that they were working on something else, and now we know more about what this is. Surgeon Studios announces a horror game Dead Take with Pocket Pair Publishing, and this is pretty cool because Pocket Pair, they are able to put out and publish more stuff. Obviously, a big success with a game like Power. They're going with them, but they will be publishing this next game from Surgeon Studios called Dead Take, a horror game saying in Dead Take, you play as an actor who becomes uneasy when your friend won't answer the phone, delve into the gilded rot of the entertainment industry and show up at the last place he was before he went quiet, a dark, opulent mansion. They say haunted by mysterious human-like figures. You advance into the house by solving object-based puzzles and splicing together the video clips you find along the way. Oddly quiet for the site of a glamorous party just hours before, the house is now populated by the figures that seem to turn up where you least expect them. And they say we're being secretive for a reason. The subject matter of this game is delicate and it hits close to home when it comes out, and it won't be long until it does. I want players to think, I can't believe they actually did this. So this is what Surgeon Studios is putting out next. It sounds interesting. I don't know how interested I actually am in that game. I don't know if I want another horror game to play right now, but we'll see what they do. It's a big change from what they had previously released, from a side-scrolling Metroidvania action game to this, and we'll see if they'll be able to pull it off. One game that is supposed to be also releasing at the end of this week is Mindseye. It's going to be at the IO Interactive Showcase, but everything surrounding this game is screaming it's going to be a flop. It's going to be a game that they abandon pretty fast. It's just not going to be anything here that is as promising as it did sound. And we have more information here from Build a Rocket Boy, which is the developers behind this, with Leslie Benzies, one of the people behind Grand Theft Auto. The chief executives have left the studio a week before Mindseye launches, which again screams there's something up here with this one here. It says, as spotted by Eurogamer, two chief executives from Build a Rocket Boy, the studio founded by former Rockstar producer Leslie Benzies, who worked on each Grand Theft Auto game since GTA 3, have left the company just a week before the studio's first release. Mindseye is set to launch here. So this is via LinkedIn pages where people are seeing this. Their time at Build a Rocket Boy concluded in June 2025. Specifically, Chief Financial Officer Paul Bland quietly confirmed his departure, and Chief Legal Officer Riley Grabner announced his departure with a short post on LinkedIn saying, after 3.5 years, my time at Build a Rocket Boy has come to a close. I'm proud of what we've accomplished. So to me, this just screams something's up here, because why would you leave just before the game launches? Like, you could have left a month or a week or whatever after the game launches to just see it through to the end, but they're leaving a week before. Maybe they know something that the public doesn't know. Who knows? That's just my speculation, but this will be interesting to see. I hope this one actually just surprises people and ends up being pretty good. Okay, well, I'll jump over here to some rumors / speculation on stuff that seems pretty interesting, as well as Ubisoft Forward. So there will be no Ubisoft Forward this year in 2025. This is according to Stephen Totillo, who said that Ubisoft will present at other events like IGN Live, Gamescom, and the PC Gaming Show. And all of those shows, except for, I guess, Gamescom, which isn't until later, but IGN Live and PC Gaming Show are smaller shows, so I wouldn't really expect too much from Ubisoft in terms of what they're going to be showing off at these shows. They wouldn't have a massive announcement if it wasn't at a Ubisoft Forward, or if it wasn't at something like an Xbox Games Showcase or a Summer Games Fest Showcase or Game Awards. But Stephen Totillo puts this out: Ubisoft Forward, which has been a digital and in-person showcase for the company's game just about every June, isn't happening this year. And the company rep tells me Ubisoft will participate in IGN Live June 7th and 8th, and PC Gaming Show June 8th, and will be at Gamescom. So that just tells me that, yeah, they're going to have announcements, but they're going to be smaller announcements. Nothing big or major. Like, we're not going to see, at least I don't believe, like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake at one of those shows. That's something they would save for a much more advertised and bigger event. Unfortunately, because Ubisoft Forwards are always decent. They've been a little bit down, I think, maybe last year or so, but there's always something to look forward to because they have a lot of games. Now, when it comes to some more rumors, Final Fantasy Tactics potentially is going to get a remaster announcement. I know a lot of people would love to see this one, myself as well. This would be very, very cool. This comes via Jason Schreier saying, I'm just saying Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the greatest games ever made, kind of teasing here that there will be a remaster. And I don't believe this is the first time we've heard about this, so I wouldn't be shocked at all if we did end up seeing this. It will be a perfect announcement at the Summer Games Fest, or maybe even the Xbox Game Showcase, something that lands in Game Pass, or something that's a part of the Xbox Play Anywhere features, which a lot of Square Enix stuff is. So we'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised if that one does end up happening. And then we have a huge update in the past 24 hours for Hollow Knight Silksong. Are we finally going to see Hollow Knight Silksong in its full glory at one of these shows? It's going to Game Pass and everything, so it could be at the Xbox Showcase, but there is a trailer that got an age rating, which basically I would say tells you we're going to see something. Achievements added in several languages. Maybe it's dropping on Game Pass very, very soon. Game file uploaded to Steam, new logo on Steam, and several other hidden changes. I think this is signaling that this is finally happening. I would not be shocked if this is one of those games that is shown off at the Xbox Showcase and they say, day one, well, we know it's coming to Game Pass, but you can play this very soon. Shadow drop, maybe? Who knows, right? But it could be one of those games that we get to play very, very soon. This one, it's a time for it to come out. It's been in development for so long, and it's just been continuously getting polished and polished and polished, and I feel like they're very close to releasing this one. And then finally, we did get an announcement for a State of Play, which is happening today at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And who knows what they're going to show, but this isn't like a big PlayStation showcase, so I feel like there'll be a mix here of the third party. I think there'll be a lot of third party stuff. You have some suggestions here that Resident Evil 9 would be there. I would not be surprised about that. So it probably won't be a lot of first party games here, but this is happening today. And then we also have this, that according to Tom Henderson, a new God of War 2.5D Metroidvania spin-off title in ancient Greece is happening. Hearing a lot of scuttlebutt about the 2.5D Metroidvania game or whatever it will be. Yeah, seems to be much smaller in scale than what I initially thought. I'm all for 2.5D God of War, all for another Metroidvania game. We've seen Prince of Persia try this. Game was phenomenal, didn't sell very well. We talked about Tales of Kinzera, which is a good one. And there are just so many that have been coming out. I would love to see this one happen. So I hope this is something they do show off at the PlayStation Showcase. But I'm going to end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.